Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 118 of the RRBG podcast. Please don't forget to check out the Patreon page. Go to patreon.com/RRBG and support the podcast. I know I say this in every episode, but if you come out there and support the podcast, you can help us grow. We can bring you more stuff, more content. I can make live shows in your hometown. Any little bit helps, and you get yourself some exclusive stuff that I've been putting there. Interviews from Psycho Las Vegas, as well as some other behind-the-scenes stuff that I'm going to be uploading soon. Patreon.com/RRBG. Support the podcast. In this episode, I talked to Johannes Persson of Cult of Luna. We talked about their new album, A Dawn to Fear, out now on Metal Blade Records. We talked about the creation of it and the theme behind it. It was a very powerful story, and I thank him for sharing that with us. We talked about touring. We talked about religion and politics. We talked a lot about some personal matters and some things that are out in the news right now. I had a really great conversation with him. I really enjoyed it. Please pick up the album, A Dawn to Fear. It is fantastic. Some of the best music to come out this year. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Cheers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RRBG podcast. I am here with Johannes of the band Cult of Luna. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. I'm fine. It's been a long day. Just got home from a long session. I've been working in the suburbs of Stockholm here today, meeting a lot of people.
Are you doing just press stuff, doing interviews and pictures and all that?
Oh no! I'm a casting director, so that's my day job. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're out in the projects, finding new faces for a television series for Netflix.
Very good. A lot of desperate people, I assume, all day. Just
no.
Me.
very nice people from like. It's always interesting to see new faces. I mean, all amateurs that haven't done anything like it before. So it's nice. Nice to talk to other people and just from the inner city.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's got to be different than Hollywood. Out here, it's just chaos.
Yeah, we're not here to talk about the process, but the process is very different from the U.S. Well, usually, I think that, when it comes to this kind of street casting that we're doing now, it's pretty much open casting. I think it's very similar to the U.S., but especially when you work in LA, and like half the city want your job. They need.
Everyone.
Yeah. So it's another process, but it's the same work.
Yeah, I'm just I imagine that. I guess the people are nicer too, because out here they're just so desperate and cutthroat. They're just everyone's trying to outdo each other and constant hate and competition, and it's really it's rough, man. It's rough.
I know all about that. It's a different I could never I love LA for many reasons, but I don't think I could live there because of partly because of that reason.
For sure. No, it's a hard place to live. I came out here about 3 years ago from Miami, and Miami is much worse. It's different. How can I say? The people are nice. Everybody's great, very supportive. But there's just no scene for what I wanted to do out there. There's no music. Like the metal music scene is okay. We were there for like 10 years. Me and my band were playing there for about 10 years. And, there's shows. We pack out Churchill's or whatever, 150 people, 200. But like, it's either that, you do a club show in Miami, or you're doing the arena. There's no in between. So it's very difficult for bands out there. So I left. I just couldn't, it's a different scene, different culture. And, I feel very much like I belong in the European culture more so. Like my family's from Spain, so I
Yeah.
know in Europe they appreciate metal and music a little bit differently, and I feel like I relate to that more.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in Florida, it's I mean, it's one of the death metal capitals of.
It's
It's supposed to
interesting.
be. Yeah.
Supposed to be, but you go to
Yeah.
shows and it's dead. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
very small, eight people in a room. On on a Thursday night, and it's like a very bad neighborhood. People are breaking into your car,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
it's part of. I guess it's part of the experience.
Oh, I guess, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's the same thing with my city, where I
Mm,
grew up. A very vibrant punk and hardcore city. Every show when I was 15, 16, like my teenage years. I mean, you had between two and four, five, 600 on every show every weekend, and
mm,
now it's dead.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like nothing happens there.
Well, you would think, you said how Florida's supposed to be capital of death metal here in like the United States, but I mean, you think of Sweden, you think of Stockholm, you think death metal, or black metal. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's funny to meet because I always every person I've met from Sweden is very nice, very very laid back, down to earth, and I just don't understand where all this darkness comes from.
You should
Like
see
from
out.
the
You should see outside my window right now.
oh, is it
It's
gray
go.
and cloudy and shit?
Oh yeah, it's depressing.
I
It's
like that though. It's weird. I don't know. I'm weird. I
yeah,
guess too many years in Miami with the sunshine. Like I want that contrast.
yeah. No, no, no. Look. I love the winter part of the year.
Mm,
However, like right now, like I moved down to Stockholm 12 years ago.
mm.
So and the seasons are very different here. Like you have 1 month more of spring and 1 month more of the fall. So, but like you have no snow. It's like half the year is it's piss raining and it's gray. I'd rather have darkness and snow than this gray fog of
Moisture and humidity.
yeah.
Yeah.
Give me some snow.
Yeah, I mean, snow is nice. I grew up also. I did. I was born in New Jersey,
Yeah,
and then when I was 15, we did Miami until I was like 30 something, and then I moved out to Los Angeles.
yeah.
And New Jersey is very cloudy and rainy all the time, but we also had snow sometimes.
Oh yeah,
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 in '92 we had a blizzard where it was like 6 feet of snow. I couldn't even open the front door to the house.
yeah. All right. Yeah, actually, I think '92 was one of like we had a blizzard up in October in
Yeah,
Umeå where I used to live. Yeah, yeah. I surely miss those days.
yeah, man. I don't want to get into the climates and
I
the
could
talk
talk.
about.
I could talk for hours.
Let's do it, but
Yeah,
let's talk a little bit about your new album. You
yeah,
did A Dawn to Fear,
yeah.
and maybe the topic of the album because of the title is it makes me think of the climate situation. We are waking up
Yeah.
every day in this weird fear now that our planet is dying and we're not doing anything about it. Is that what the album's about,
Um.
or just overall fear of other things
No,
as
look,
well?
look, no, look. It's not. It's not about like that's. I. I have nothing against an interpretation of the title in that way, and
Okay.
and I could gladly talk about that. Um, but to be quite honest, it has a completely different different meaning
Okay.
than what you might think. Because I try to write like all the lyrics, all the music on this album. I try to write it like I just wanted to start writing without having a narrative in mind before I started the process. So
Okay.
so I just basically tried to let my mind just wander off in any direction And writing that track that later turned out to be the title track.
Hmm.
Um, I found myself in an experience experience from my memory
Right.
when a good friend of mine buried his mother.
Oof.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, it was one of the toughest moments I ever seen somebody else go through, and it was just horrible. And I remember, um, like I tried to like my mind wander off in that kind of situation, and how a day like that would start. Like, you wake up, you're gonna bury your mother,
Oh yeah.
and I remember I was like, this is I was thinking of where I was standing at the time. Like, I had this basically a snapshot from that experience, and I was there, and I turned around, and I saw like the river goes just past that place, and I I kind of saw the dawn in the east,
Mm.
and so it kind of symbolizes, you go through life, and most of your life hopefully you're okay. You might
Mm.
not be super happy, but I mean you're good. But sooner or later you're going to, if life go the way it should go, you are going to experience things that are inevitable.
Hmm.
Like, you should be burying your parents, for example. I mean,
Yeah.
that's something that's how life should work, and that it's horrible. It's an experience that you might not want to go through, but you are going to go through it. It's
Yeah.
something that is coming closer. For every minute we're talking right now, it's a minute that we aren't talking to our parents, that
Yeah.
we aren't talking to. I mean, we are going to go through sickness. We're going to have loved ones die. Things that are inevitable. It's going to happen, and
Yeah.
it's horrible to think of. And I think just in that situation, when I wrote that, it was just, you know, uh, a will to just be able to stop time,
Yeah.
not experience that what is coming towards you. Like, in that case, it symbolizes a, like a dawn. Um,
Yeah.
that's where that whole thing came from.
Wow, that's powerful, man. That's it is definitely a topic that not a lot of people like to face, because yeah, people scared. They don't want to die. They don't want to think about that, but it's
Yeah,
coming, and that's something
yeah,
that I always preach to everybody. They get depressed or they lose a loved one, and I get it. You need your time to recover. Perhaps like there are other ways to express that feeling. Like
yeah,
art, paintings, music, stuff like that. And but I like that you're talking about that. It's something that needs to be talked about. People need to get ready for that because it's like you said, it's inevitable. So
yeah. And when I was 15, I experienced I had a very horrible accident
oh,
with a friend. Like, I was okay, but my friend yeah, he punctured a vein in his leg. It was almost bled to
oof.
death. Yeah, it was. Yeah, like my body still hasn't recovered from that. It's like, sometimes I just like I cannot go into a blood bank, for example. I would love to give blood. I go into a blood bank and I almost faint. Like, I've tried,
Yeah.
but the thing that I learned from that experience is that death is very, very present all the time. Like,
Hmm.
you can, and I mean, 1 second you're good, you're having fun, another second you bump into each other, and your friend has a pen in his pocket and it goes into his leg. I mean, things like that can happen,
Yeah.
and it kind of helped me to, and everything that you talk about, it sounds so depressing, but it helps me experience, and appreciate life. And
For
like,
sure.
I know, like, right now I'm in a good place. I might not be in a better place, um ever in my entire
Yeah.
life. Have like I work with fun. I don't hate my job. I have an amazing girlfriend, 2 kids. Like we're having a. I cannot be more on top of the world.
Mhm.
Uh, so I better appreciate it as much as possible right
For
now.
sure. Yeah, yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
very important. That's the thing. If people don't think about that stuff, they go about life very nonchalant, not thinking about things and not appreciating what's going on. You know, when once you're faced with that inevitable fact, you start to appreciate everything. Like I don't want
Yeah.
to go. I've mentioned it before on the show. I'm not going to say it again, but I also had a very bad like car accident in
Oh
2002,
yeah. All right.
and so I had that brush. You know, I was declared
Yeah.
dead
Yeah. Yeah.
by the hospital, the whole
Oh.
thing. So being coming, you know, having been able to come back from that, like I just appreciate everything, and I'm just, you know, who knows, and it's important that people talk about it. So I appreciate, you could definitely tell in the music, man. Like I was listening to the album before we spoke, and just to kind of refresh, and it's, you could hear the passion, that kind of pain almost, of you know, just emotional depth that the music has. It's layers.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. But it's. I mean, like, I'm not a depressing kind of guy. It's just.
Yeah.
It's. But I think it's important that. I don't want like it was. I haven't experienced anything like you have.
Mhm.
But I don't want to have to do that until I appreciate
Yeah.
life.
For sure, for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not something I recommend. I don't tell people,
No.
you know,
I
go out
just.
there and have a car accident. People,
Oh no!
no.
I just get sweaty just to hear about it.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, so the album is out, and you guys signed with Metal Blade. How's that been for you? Like, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see that Metal Blade is pushing some really good bands. In this day and age, where you think that labels don't really do much, you know, you got everybody's online, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I'm trying to. Uh, I don't deal much with like I try to stay away from everything that isn't about writing music.
Mm.
However, like being on Metal Blade, it's a huge honor. Metal Blade is probably no, I'm not gonna say probably. It was the first record label that I know that I remember ever registering.
Hmm.
I remember I had this album, Lizzie Borden, Menace to Society,
Mm.
uh, from '87 maybe, and I saw like Metal Blade on the back of it. I mean, that was two coolest words put together ever. Yeah, and I think they had that Razor Blade logo, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, it's obvious they've been doing this for 30 years or for 30, I don't even know, 35. And they definitely know their stuff. Without working, I mean, being too involved in it, I just see that they make stuff happen.
Yeah, yeah, and they've been picking
Yeah,
up a lot of
yeah.
my friends too, like Intronaut. Recently,
Oh,
they
yeah, yeah.
signed Killswitch Engage, which are good friends of mine too. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's interesting, you know, to see that they're still going at it, because
Yes.
you think about labels in today's age and you don't really think that they are supporting, but yeah, they put out the vinyls, they do shows. It's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. And then the people I've met, it's been amazing. So I have nothing to complain about, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys are going on tour. You just announced a new U.S. tour with
Yeah.
Emma Ruth Rundle and Intronaut.
Yes.
The new, the
Again.
new, the new Intronaut.
Have I missed something?
Oh, maybe. Danny Walker is not in the band anymore. They got
Oh
Alex
yeah.
Rudinger.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Well, yeah. I've yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
I
like
think.
knew if it was something very, very, very different.
Oh no, yeah, no, just new. I don't think they've played any shows with Rudy yet, so
Okay,
it should.
yeah.
It's. I think you guys are the first tour for
Oh
them.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to meet these guys again. And play with them. We had a good time last time, and this is going to be better. I hope. Now we
Yeah,
know each other.
Yeah, for sure, man. And they've been growing and evolving. Like you guys have, I wouldn't say, I guess, sort of a similar sound. Like they definitely do things differently than you guys. But if I was gonna listen to two albums back to back, it would be you guys and Internet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think it's a good match. It's a good match.
Yeah.
And Emma Ruth Rundle too. She's been picking up a lot of attention from people, and the album, it deserves it. So,
Yeah, I've been a fan for years. I saw her in Stockholm a long time ago. Oh, I don't even know. Time passes so fast. A couple of years ago. That's a long time, right?
yeah,
I
sure.
didn't even know. Yeah.
It's been great to see. There's been a very significant growth in attention to bands, female-fronted bands, or even just female, like Chelsea Wolfe. Like just a female singer, name like that, like not a band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even bands too, like Oathbreaker, and it's been really cool. Band,
I think it's apparent that there are females that like this is exactly what we need. We need more females on stage in order to inspire other males to do the same thing. And I just think it's very important because especially the genre that we've been affiliated with, or when I don't even know what it means, like metal or whatever. It's been male dominated, mostly for ill. Well, actually, only for ill for such a long time, and I think that more people getting involved can only improve and push the boundaries of what music can be further. So I'm more than welcome more females on stage.
For sure, man. I think it's important, just everybody should be working together. It should be a nice balance. It doesn't need to be anybody's club. You know what I mean? Because they throw that around, the boys' club. I know. It should be a open forum,
Yeah, it should be. But I don't know. It's I've been.
I know you've been dealing with some shit this week with the whole with the internet. So.
The idiots rule the internet. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
Yeah, I don't care. I actually I used to let things like that get to me, but I'm older and probably more stupid. But it doesn't. I remember when I was younger,
mm-hmm.
and basically, when you see these memes when like a girlfriend is standing in the doorway, like, "Oh, honey, are you coming to bed?" No, somebody's wrong on the internet. That I used to be that kind of guy.
Oh man.
and now I'm not anymore. Hopefully,
man.
Yeah.
And look, there's shit going on. People are talking. It's fine. Like, I don't know why people are talking, and it's like that everywhere for everything. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a platform to say it. Like, everybody gets very upset about one thing or very upset about another thing, and it's everybody's just trying to shut each other up, and it's so weird. I don't like it, and it's such an important tool when you're doing your music, your art. You need the internet to push nowadays, to push your album out, to do promotions, to promote for events, to promote merchandise, all of that. But it's such a crazy place. I
don't even know what I like, what I would like. I mean, look. And I knew this would come up, and I don't even know where to start because there's so many ways of addressing it. What I would like to talk about was actually what I was talking about in that interview that was taken, like when I say it was taken out of context, I'm not saying that I didn't say that thing. I mean, yeah, I don't think there was a certain wording that I didn't use, like coward. I don't think I used that word. It doesn't, but it doesn't mean anything. What I meant is it was taken out of a bigger context. Like I was talking about exactly what we talked about just earlier about the kind of a male dominated culture. Yeah, exactly. That's where the discussion started from. I think I don't even remember all the interviews I do, but I think that's where it started, and then it's spun in a certain direction, and that was what was picked up because
because it's
so
clickbait, man. Because it's attention.
exactly, and okay, let's just address. I read some of the comments like, yeah, you just out of for attention. Like, what? How do you think this works? Do you
Yeah.
think like, yeah? I mean, seriously? Do you think that I'm thinking that this is going to get attention exactly when I want it, and exactly this is going to be pushed by 3-4 websites simultaneously? It doesn't work like that. Like
You don't have a Discord channel where you
you're
talk to all the music sites at the same time and
actually, yes, we all. No, but but look, like you're thinking too much of. I mean, you're having too high expectation, or what's called. You're thinking too much of me. Like that's not how my brain works. I'm too stupid to think of things like that. Like, like I don't know, but I think one problem is that as soon as you get a platform like that, I don't know who they think I am. I'm just a person
yeah, of course.
expressing my opinions to my friends every day.
Yeah, and I don't know
In
why they
different
give a
topics.
shit. Why
No,
do they care?
no. I mean, oh, I'm like I mean, like I said, we could probably talk about this for hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean, the most important point that I want to make is like I think I talked about how important um, um, values and opinions were in the scene that I came from. Oh yeah, so attention and quote unquote success is totally irrelevant for me. Irrelevant for me. I just told you I got back from work. I'm not financially dependent on the band. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like there's no money in this band. It's not like, well, it's a paid hobby. I don't like, the only thing that I care about is writing music. The only thing I care about is performing music.
Yeah,
Like
as you
yeah,
should. As you
yeah.
should.
That's the only thing. But I also care about values. I also care about how I treat other people, how other people treat other people. And I've been very upfront with where I stand for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I won't back down for difficult well, actually I don't think this is a very difficult subject. I think it's very, very easy. It should be for anyone with a moral compass. But we don't have to talk about this issue. I can talk about. I want to talk about. Well, actually,
Whatever you want to talk about, man. You tell
no, no,
me.
no,
I'm.
no. Look, yeah, I talked about Alexi, my friend and manager, and he provided me with with a top. It's not a, where he was thinking about doing a top 10 list of the best comments from all these sites. Like I said, I've been working all day. I haven't had, and I wrote. I just felt like I needed to comment somehow to kind of balance how it sounded. Like I truly wish the best for any person in any situation, but I think that uh, I think that okay. Okay, I just think that that responsibility and apology is two different things. But never mind that. Um, all these comments just prove my point. It
Yeah.
proved my point about the problem of male chauvinistic assholes. I mean, and all the empty barrels. But because look, every comment that I've seen, every comment that he provided to me, was either a male or an anonymous
Anonymous, right? Yeah, internet
yeah,
anonymous. Yeah,
exactly. And I don't know.
people with no balls. They don't want to attach their name to whatever their statement is.
I don't care about that, but let's just say that I would put everything I own that every anonymous person is a man. Sorry, or a boy, obviously, or a man boy. I don't know. Um, and like I don't. It was actually a person that reached out to me through Instagram. But there's been a lot of people that have private messaged me, but I don't care about them. But and he disagreed, and I'm totally. But he was civilized,
Right.
a very nice
Civilized
person.
discourse, something
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
don't
yeah,
have a
yeah.
lot of.
And and I told him like I really appreciate you getting back to me, and I really appreciate you expressing your opinion. We might not agree, but that's okay. That's
Yeah.
totally fine. I mean, it's but yeah, we had a small exchange of comments, and we kind of, at least I think we kind of agreed to disagree, and that was the end of it.
Yeah.
And that's that's how it should be.
Right.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we live in this country specifically is being run by that specific type of person, a very
Yeah.
male chauvinistic, pig type person, and
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like, I'm not even mad that he's our president. Like, it's one of those, yeah, we deserve that. Look at you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, they're obviously there. I don't agree with any of it, but whatever, man. That's you guys. And
Yeah. Sorry.
no,
No.
go
Sorry.
ahead.
No. I mean, he's a person that can tell you one thing in the morning, another thing in the at lunch, and tell you to
Hmm.
fuck off when you point that out, and get away with it. And I mean, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, we don't have that kind of extreme leaders in Sweden, but I mean, we're not far behind you. I just
Yeah.
think like we don't have. I mean, you are the country. I mean, you are the kind of cultural leader of the West, and
Hmm.
we are kind of, in many aspects, are bad copies. But we try, and our politicians try. I'm just waiting for somebody to be a little bit better, and we're going to get the same kind of person. We're going to get the Boris Johnson of Sweden sooner or later. I mean, yeah, I mean the clowns will rule. I mean, I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's weird that like if we have a circus, then we'll get a clown for president or a clown for prime minister. That's how it works. And although I sometimes um, uh, in all friendliness kind of starts with name and calling. I can be pretty harsh sometimes, but I do enjoy, like, but when it comes to serious discussions, I actually like a friendly tone, even though I might not agree. And I think in the long run, if we're going to actually survive this next couple of centuries, I think we just need to go back to a rational discussion of right and wrong, and what we are going to do to save the planet.
I know, and it's getting worse because that's the thing. Everybody's so focused on their bullshit that they don't realize that the planet is gonna die around us, and a lot of us don't have the money. Like I'm sure the technology is there to get off this planet and go live somewhere else, but we don't have that money. We're not
Yeah,
on that flight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? That
But
whenever the rich people of this fucking country get on their space, plane and fly
Teslas.
off to outer space, yeah, the Teslas are ready to go. Those Teslas
Yeah,
they have a button that you don't know about that you press and it just turns your car into a ship. But yeah, it's
I mean, look,
nuts.
I'm actually, I'm not that pessimistic or conspiratorial at all. I just think that we're in the stages of when you kind of, I can't remember what it's called, but stages of accepting death or something like that. You go through all these
Grief,
stages
yeah.
of, yeah, yeah. I don't think we're at grief yet. I think we're in denial.
Oh,
I
for sure.
mean, not we as everybody, but as a society, we definitely are. I mean, if you actually look at the statistics, like basically, we are screwed. I mean, we can do stuff, but I mean, we pretend like it's like we might get in trouble, but like these kind of processes, they're not stopping just because we stop now. They're going to continue, and we are basically screwed. Just saying it, I know they're true, but emotionally, I don't believe it, and that's where most of the people are, I think, in denial, either by like ignorant by choice or just plain fucking dumb. To
Yeah. Yeah.
quote propaganda, the old political skate punk band.
No, there is a lot of mindless people, man. There's a lot of people that they're just going through life. They wake up in the morning and they go to their day job and then they go home, they have dinner, they watch TV for a few hours and go to bed. They're not thinking about anything. The
I
only concern is make money, pay bills, and then
Yeah,
die.
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, look, I agree and I disagree. The person that just posted "you suck" on my wall, I love that, by the way. Um, I will promise you, one on one, that's probably a nice person. That's the thing. One
Maybe.
on one, yeah, like yeah, maybe. But usually, that's like that's I've some. I've talked to a lot of people that've been very, very harsh on the internet, and like I've kind of suggested that. Okay, look. Okay, forget about this. I'm the same person online as I am in person. Like, everything I say, I will stand by one on one. But I think without the computer screen between us, when we can look at each other and see see nuances in what we say. Like, look, I read the
Body
text that what,
language.
yeah, exactly, and nuances in other stuff, like how you say stuff.
Hmm.
Fuck you can be very harsh in print, but it can
Yep.
also be said with love.
Right.
And I like if in our band, for example, we we have had a couple of years, yeah, before when we were in the process of writing Vertical, we sent emails back and forth and people were getting pissed at each other because everything in writing looks so bad. And I mean, look,
Yeah.
we love each other, we're friends, so we kind of had to have a discussion that nobody can be offended by anything that anyone writes because it is in writing. If I'm upset right there and then, I write something that might be too harsh, and then somebody reads it, and in their mind it's even harsher,
Hmm.
and they think that I'm pissed at them, but I'm not. It was for 2 seconds I was pissed off, and then it went over. And it's the same thing with, like, I wrote the quote, or I read the quote that was posted everywhere. I mean, hey, it's harsh, and like I stand by the spirit of what I said, but I think it's more nuanced than what
Oh,
people
for
think.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I'm
like
like,
it's going through so many filters. It's going through
yeah,
your mouth or whatever to the ears of the person that was interviewing you, to their transcription, to the internet, to to text, and then there's another filter of people's egos and people's self-esteem, the way that they process those words. You know what I mean? It goes through all those filters.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and also like the bias that they might
Uh
have,
huh. Yeah.
and the so it's hard, but I mean, look, it's no big deal. It was a shit storm today, but
Mm-hmm.
I've lived through it, and and it's been very interesting to be on the receiving end. But I mean, look, there's been a lot of support, but like again, I just don't want this issue to be, or
A thing.
yeah, it's I don't want it to be polarized. I think that whatever you stand in this issue, if we talk about it as a third person, I
Mm-hmm.
think that one on one with everybody, we could probably agree to more or less um, on how what is reasonable. We might not agree with everything,
Mm-hmm.
but at least we wouldn't leave the situation hating each other.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's super important to have conversations with people. That's why I think podcasts are so important and people listen to them a lot because it's a matter of talking it out. And like for
Yeah.
me, for example, I have a problem because I'm nice to whoever's nice to me. You
Yeah.
know? So if you approach me and you're nice and I have a conversation with you, we have a good time, we're friendly. Like I'm gonna treat you nicely. If you come to me and you're, being a jerk, then I'll probably just not talk to you. I'm not gonna be a jerk back. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
not talk to you. But we live in this culture now where like if you're associated with certain people too, like. I have friends that, oh, you still talk to this guy or that guy. And I'm like, yeah, man, he's never done anything to me. Maybe you should have a conversation with him instead of automatically hating, and then maybe we can all relate. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
it's
mean,
like
to a certain extent, though. I mean,
no, of course, of
I
course.
like I'm a person that I'm trying to think. I mean, to interpret things in the most positive ways. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, which is quite obvious. I have certain boundaries that I think. I mean, I have certain values that I do not compromise with, and that that sometimes makes us, and we're not an easy band to work with. And I mean, we have artistic ideas that we don't compromise with, which kind of makes us hard to work with.
Yeah.
We've been through the years. I think we've been um, a tough band to work with as a label or as an agent, and I have a temper. Oh, I you can ask anyone. My temper is I explode, and then I'm good. Like I have this like peak of anger that, which actually is a problem that I'm working with, and but after I've exploded, like no, it's
Are
I
you
don't.
are you a are you a drinker? Do you drink?
Oh no, like
Okay.
yeah, I do drink, but I'm not.
Like it's not related. The anger isn't part of the
Oh, go
alcohol.
no. Like no, I'm not like I'm not a day drinker.
Okay. Okay.
I never drink at home. I'm not like I was brought up in a sober family, so I have not had that alcohol culture, and I started drinking pretty late in life. So like I drink when I'm out or when we're out,
Yeah, if you're after
hang
a
out with friends.
show or something. Yeah.
Exactly. Like I never have beer at home
I
and
mean,
stuff
that's how
like
it
that.
should be. You're celebrating after a show. You're
Yeah.
relaxed. People do have legitimate problems sometimes. Where they can't even look at it because then they turn into a different person. So
Yeah.
I'll
Well, yeah. I mean, and also we have a lot of substance abuse in the family. So I have very bad
mm,
genes when it comes to that. So that's why I've been
Avoiding
staying
it.
away. Yeah. Like
Nice.
I'm staying away from I always stayed away from heavy drugs and stuff like that. I've seen it all, and
That's good.
yeah. I see all the consequences that.
It's a little surprising because of the style of music you make. It's very like the type of music you guys make. It makes me want to smoke a lot of weed and take some
Yeah,
mushrooms and relax.
yeah. I mean, I'm not judging. I'm just saying that I'm not.
You're not into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know enough of my family history to know that that's not stuff that I should involve myself too much. Uh, I'm like I'm not like again.
You're not
I
religious, you know.
oh no. Like I was brought up in a religious home,
Hmm.
but I'm as much of an atheist that you can be.
Was it a like Christian type home
No,
or like old school? You know, and I saw your post. You put something of dear Odin or something. Do you do you worship Odin and Thor and all that?
no. It's like that was a joke. You say oh dear God, I say dear
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah. But I'm no not at all. No, my parents were part of a religion called it's a Persian religion called Baha'i, which is basically, I mean, the crash course in that is um, their belief is that every world religion has a common essence, so to speak.
Mm.
So I mean, it's for religion, it's very non-violent and all that, which is good. But they believe a lot of stuff that I don't. But I met a lot of nice people through it, and I think I have, like, my parents had good core values. That's one thing that have probably had a huge impact on. Like today, I was talking to a lot of kids in about what um, from the projects about what path you choose and why you do it, and I talked to a person and talked about my own history, and I hung out in very bad crowds for a while, but I think what kind of one of the reasons why I didn't go down the path of opiates and chaos is because I kind of always brought with me what my parents taught me about core values of just being trying to be a good person.
Yeah. No, that's look. It's in every religion. Like that, I had never heard, by the way, of that religion, but it makes
You should.
sense. It makes sense to me that yeah, it's true. I've seen it. I've seen that every religion has some kind of core values that they share.
Yeah, but look, for my perspective or my take on that is that, yeah, I mean, since I believe all religions are man-made, and
Mm.
basically we are all the same. With, I mean, evolution has kind of taught us that cooperation is good and yada yada yada. A lot of like basic values, and it would be surprising if you couldn't find them in all religions amongst the rest of different. Well, if you will like get your hands dirty and dig in the swamp of all these crazy religions, you will find some core values that is general in all of them, but your hands would still get very dirty.
Mm, oh, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, yeah, man. I grew up in that very strict Christian Catholic,
yeah.
also with a little bit of weird Cuban Santeria for some reason. They mixed that religion up a little bit, the voodoo, and they grabbed voodoo stuff and then Christian stuff, and they made a weird Cuban Santeria thing where they worship saints, but they also do spells on each other with like sacrifices and like I would get home from school one day, and I walk in with my friend, and I had this new video game. I'm like, hey man, come over, we're gonna play this game. And he's like, cool, yeah. And I opened the door to my house, and my mother is dancing in the living room with a dead chicken. And then she like looks at me and she smacks me with a do you know what a palm frond is? Like a piece of a palm tree. She hits me, yeah. She hits me with a piece of a palm tree and blows cigar smoke in my face. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, what the what? What is happening? And I just look at my friend, and he turned around and left. He's like, fuck that. Nope.
Oh, that must have been an experience,
dude. So that's what I grew up with. Like, they had like this whole thing, and I'm like researching it, and I don't believe in it, but I have seen it work. You know what I mean? Like, they do stuff, and what they are trying to do happens, and I'm trying to explain it to them. Like, it's just the power of your willpower. Like you're making things happen, but you're using these tools that makes you, it makes you cross that line of believing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
that's what they need. And, with Christians, it's the same way. Like, they need their cross and they need their prayers and all this stuff. Like, whatever it is that they need, whatever tools. And you see it like in old ancient Egyptian, paintings and hieroglyphics and stuff. You see that they're doing these like ceremonies, but they all have a little tool in their hand.
And they all have funny hats.
Right, funny hats. I love it. A silly hat party.
Yeah, look, seriously, I don't care what people believe in. I don't care as long as they're honest, good people that don't force it down other people's throats, and are just being nice to each other. Then I don't care. I mean, my dad, we stopped discussing these kind of things because we're never going to agree.
Right.
But that doesn't. I mean, that doesn't matter. I mean, he believes in an afterlife, for example, and if he believes that and it makes him happy, like I'm not going to get in the way of that. Like that's great if you believe.
You're not going to call him. You're not going to call him every morning, like, "Hey, Dad, nothing's going to happen."
No, and it's not important to me. The only thing that's important is the relationship we have.
Yeah.
And as long as it doesn't interfere with the father-son relationship, then I mean, again, I have no problem with just disagreeing. That's totally fine.
We don't need to agree on everything. Yeah.
No, and that's when I was younger, I wanted to win every discussion. I wanted to walk away with saying the last word. It's not important to me anymore. Like I know where I stand, and again, like these comments saying like, why would you care what you said? Like you don't. Like I'm just a person answering or stating my opinions to questions asked. And I am in a situation when people wanted to do interviews with me. Like I didn't ask for this. Like I enjoy it. I enjoy it for sure. Like I'm a talker. I love talking. I have no problem doing interviews. Like I love playing music. That's the only reason why I do this. And no, you don't have to listen to what I say. You don't have to care. Like you took the time to sit down and pour hot. Yeah. Well, that's okay. When you took the time to look me up and make sure that I know that you think I suck. Okay, sure. I mean,
I love that question too. Why should I care? Well, then, but you're obviously caring, so stop it.
Yeah. I mean, you don't. You just ignore me.
Yeah. Here's a practice thing that I've been doing a lot lately, and I think everyone that's listening to this right now should do this every morning when you're going through your feed and you're looking through your social media shit and you see something and you think, "Oh, I disagree. Let me make my point," and you start writing that comment. Stop Just stop. If
you
it's
know
an
what
aggressive, if you're gonna be angry about it, just don't do it. Just fucking move along. Keep swiping. Like,
yeah. One thing that I know myself, I should not be posting stuff in the morning because always write stupid stuff that I later regret. So that's why I don't write stuff in the morning. But I mean, look, one thing that I realized on Facebook very very late is that you can actually shut people up without them noticing. You can just not block them, but you just
unfollow.
no, you don't even have to unfollow them. You just have to. Oh, maybe that's what it's called when you. Just,
when it doesn't show up on your feed. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do that especially to people that spoil series.
Oh yeah, no, I unfriend those people. Fuck those people.
Yeah, fuck those people. You know, should we open that Pandora's box? Because there's nothing that I hate more than people that spoil. They did this article on me, and it's a Swedish. It's kind of a political satire magazine, but the piece of me, I was called the spoiler viewer, because there's like I stated. I stated the rules of when you're allowed to talk about stuff. You know, talk about series or films.
How long is it? 2 weeks?
I can't remember. I mean, it was half joke, half serious. But I think it was something like look, after 20 years, you can. I think you can assume that anyone that wants to have watched a movie or a series are going to watch it. But that rule ends after 30 years because then it become a classic, and you cannot assume that everyone has seen it. Wow. So yeah, so I mean, yeah, you can talk about, you could talk about Godfather, for example, for a short while, but now you can't because the young people, you can't assume that they've seen it.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, those people I unfollow. It doesn't even matter if I follow that series or not, because I know that these people, sooner or later, I'm going to watch something that they had watched, and they are going to spoil it for me.
Oh yeah.
So that I preemptively unfollow them.
Yeah, I've lost actual friendships. Like, I don't talk to people anymore because like I remember sitting in the theater for the Star Wars Episode 7.
Oh yeah. Should we talk about that? Yep.
Yeah, and I remember just getting a Facebook post with my girlfriend. Well, actually, my girlfriend saw it, and she was like, "Can you believe this?" I'm like, "Oh, that's it. That guy's out of my life. Bye."
Yeah. I actually, you know, somebody spoiled that film for me without spoiling it. He said, well, he actually we became. Now we're friends again, but I didn't talk to him for 6 months. He told me that Kylo Ren was a character that later turned out wasn't. So like I watched that 2/3 of the movie thinking that.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then when he took off his helmet, like what? Because everything, like I watched the movie with his info in my head, so I rationalized everything that happened to make sense.
Right.
Out of those, yeah.
Yeah, that's important. People don't think about that. Like, the easiest way to think about it is when you're going to take a drink of something and you think it's one thing and it's not.
Yeah.
Like, you think it's water and it's Sprite, and you just like freak out. Like, Sprite doesn't taste bad, but you weren't expecting that.
Yeah.
You just ruined the whole experience.
Yeah. Let's join forces in the fight against spoiling people. Yeah.
I used to have a big problem with UFC back in the day. I was a big fan, and that was a big one too on social media. Like, people would just, oh, look at the knockout. It's like, yo, really? Come on. Yeah. Like, I'm working. I want to see that. I want to experience that excitement live. I don't need you to ruin it for me. And I'm expecting it. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, but like I question these people. Like, why are you like? Well, I'm not a UFC fan, but things like that. But why would you write anything like that on your wall? What do you expect from people? Can
Yeah.
anything positive come from this? No. The only thing that can come from this is people that haven't watched the series uh, are going to uh, be, their experience is going to be spoiled. Like, there's nothing positive that can come from this,
It's
except
it's
why
internet.
do you need to do it?
It's internet culture. It's trolling. People enjoy ruining the fun for other people. It's trolling. It's become a popular thing. Like, people think it's cool to be a troll. I'm like, dude, no, that is the
But
worst.
yeah, but I'm not sure. Like, I have uh, I'm I don't know. I think that it comes from the same place where as soon as a person dies, it's a race for the RIP post.
Oh my
The
god,
first, yeah,
yes.
I think it comes from the same place. So I
Oh,
don't say it's not spoiling. Like my friend, my friend, I don't know why I even talk to this guy anymore, but he was actually in charge of Sweden's official Twitter Twitter account.
what? Okay.
Yeah, and he spoiled through that. Yeah, through that they kind of have a new person, a new Swede every year or every
Okay.
week to be in charge of that. Um, he actually spoiled. He had
Oh, that's too much power to give people, man. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
and I don't know what kind of crazy person that actually gave him that power, but
Oh my god.
he spoiled Star Wars 7 to everyone following
Oh
that.
no.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's a total nihilist.
Oh fuck.
I love the guy, but he's a douchebag sometimes.
Look, and I have appreciation for that. Like, sometimes I'm able to disconnect myself and laugh at how shitty that is. Like, and be absurd about it. Like,
Yeah,
I know I'm not supposed to be laughing. I'm supposed to be upset, but wow,
yeah,
what a move.
it's so off the chart. I
Yeah.
think he posted a picture of a car. Like, look, I'm not even going to say it here, but um, it's it has it was the back window of a car with a sticker, which is a spoiler then,
Oh no.
literally a spoiler, yeah, yeah, which said, it revealed one of the big twists in Star Wars 7, a car spoiler, that is.
Right, right, right.
Ah,
That's
yeah,
great. That's great. It's so terrible that I have to, like, applaud. Like, all right, fine. Wow.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah,
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 man. It's nuts. It's I guess that's it. That culture of wanting to be first. That first comment, first RIP.
yeah,
That's just what it is now with the internet. Everything has to be quick first. Like in Netflix, I want to see this movie right now. Hit play immediately. Like it. Oh my God, commercials? No. Why do we have commercials? Like, I'll pay more money. How much? I got to send you $10 a month so I can watch TV without commercials. Okay, fine. Like that's the
yeah,
culture we live in. It's nuts.
yeah,
It's to
yeah.
me, we have too much access. We
Oh
have too
yeah,
much shit, man. There's way too
yeah.
much.
I agree. However, like, there's nothing you can do about it. It is
Oh
what it
yeah,
is. Yeah, it
yeah. We're
is
not
what
gonna
it is.
fight it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
start
but
a revolution.
no, but look, I mean, we could talk about, when I grew up, and we had, like, I got into punk and hardcore and alternative music, and I went to the bank, exchanged, Swedish crowns to dollars, put them in an envelope, and maybe after 4 months, you got your order with these records that you had ordered because the cover looked cool or the band name sounded cool.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, and you listened to them, and you sat down, and you really listened to them, and you might not like them, but you had paid good money and you waited for months. So
Hmm.
you sat down, you listened to them until you liked them. Now you listen to 30 seconds tops. Next track. But it
Hmm.
is what it is. I mean, there's nothing to do about it. We can't turn back time. But I think we appreciated stuff more. back then.
Sure. No, I agree
Definitely.
completely. I agree completely. Yeah, we had a similar thing, Columbia House. It was for I think it was $1. For $1, you get 10 CDs, and you get this book, and you could pick out little stamps that had the
Yeah.
album cover on it, and then you rip the stamp out and put the stamp on the form. It was like a game, and I was a little
Yeah,
kid, like, oh my god, yes, I want this one and that one, and they would send you a box with like 10 CDs for $1, and then like I think you paid $4 for shipping
Oh
or
yeah.
something. And it was great, man. And yeah, you sat there. That's how I found a lot of my music.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, what's this? Look at that. That looks interesting. That's how I got into Pantera. I actually won the Great Southern Trendkill. I won it at a fair. They had it in this like weird thing where you put money on one of the items on the wheel. Like it was like a cherry or whatever, and they spin the wheel, and when it lands, you win something. And I won, and the guy's like, any CD from here? And I'm like, that looks cool. It has a big snake on it. Give me that. And yeah, dude, that's how I found. And the first track on that album is just screaming.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm into this stuff now.
Yeah.
Hey, man. But yeah, dude, we don't appreciate music the way we used to. I mean, I do. I still come home and I'll put on a record while I'm cleaning the house and listen to the whole thing. But, But the culture now, it's all Spotify, playlist, and they have algorithms where they can, maybe you'll like this song. And it's like, oh my God, no.
But I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like kind of reverted back to vinyls. It's the hipster thing.
Ah, you hipster.
Fuck off. Okay, I'll grant you that. I don't care. But it's for exactly that reason, because it's kind of when like the only time that I can listen to music is pretty much this time of the day. It's soon midnight and my kids are sleeping, and I clean the kitchen and I put a record on, and like there's no like if I want to stop the music, I actually have to go to the record player and turn it up. Yeah, exactly. Or else it's going to continue until it's which means like I listen more actively. It's not I can't skip tracks. It's there the way it's intended, and that's why I think apart from you get the beauty of the artwork in a different way than a small thumbnail. And all that, So like, call me a hipster. I don't care. I just it makes me appreciate music more. And it also made me a lot poorer. But
oh god, big collection, big vinyl collection.
Yeah. Oh no, but not huge. But like, don't like I cannot show my I wouldn't dare tell my girlfriend how much I spent on vinyl the last couple of years. Now I'm good. I kind of bought everything that I wanted. Now I just buy new stuff. So that's between you and me. Do not talk to her about it.
Yeah, my big problem is going to shows. I always end up buying a vinyl at the show because they're there and I'm in front of the band. I'm like, okay, I want to support you and this is great.
Oh, you're one of the good guys. I always, but I think that's important. And if I ever get a guest list, I always
go buy
merch. I mean, I know we just talked about that. There's no. Very few people earn a lot of money on music, and most of all, it's a struggle to just make ends meet. So anything you can do to support the band, buy a T-shirt, give it to a friend. I don't know.
Go to a show. Go to a show, man. Oh my god, that's so important. Pay for a ticket to go to the show. Sometimes if I have friends in town and I know it's a busy night, like especially here in Los Angeles, it's really hard. Because all the labels want to be there and everything. So I just buy a ticket, go to the show, support. If you like a band, you should be supporting that band. Otherwise, that band will have to stop because it's not free to make music.
No,
pay for studio time and printing and tour and gas and flights and managers and You know what I mean? It's nuts.
Yeah. I don't even know how I would be able to play in this band if I would. Like, I'm very lucky because I am my own boss. I decide everything for myself. My line of work, I can do a lot of work anywhere in the world. Like, as long as I have a computer working. So I don't know how I would be able to still play in this band if I would have a normal day job with a boss that demanded that I had to be there 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I could probably not do it.
Well,
But
you're very
I'm
fortunate,
very. Oh yeah, I don't even know what I did to deserve this. But I'm a lucky person, definitely.
Well, I'm very excited to come out to the tour with Intronaut. Those are my boys. I've been there from day one, man. I remember I saw Intronaut with when they all had long hair in a little bar with like 4 people.
Sasha with long hair.
Oh yeah, all of them. They all had long.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I just received a beautiful guitar from him.
yeah, he's
it's
killing it with the guitars, man.
wow. And
Yeah.
I'm okay. We're recording a podcast right now, but I'm like between you and me again. Like that's the most beautiful guitar I've ever owned, and I've have owned a lot of them. It's I can't wait this weekend. I'm going up to Umeå to practice. It's a band practice. I can't wait to plug that in.
Nice.
It's yeah. I don't
Nice
even know.
plug for Dunnable Guitars. Go look them
Oh
up. They're great.
yeah, do that, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see them back on the road. I want to see you guys. Like I said, this album is incredible. Definitely, if you're listening to this, pick up the album. It's definitely worth it. Dawn to Fear on Metal Blade. Buy the vinyl. I'm excited to buy the vinyl directly from you guys. I'm going to wait for the show.
I hope we have any left. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe we do. Yeah, we do. But it's the end of the tour. So maybe.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but
it's near the end. I might have pre-order online.
Yeah, but look, Metal Blade is still situated in LA, so I guess
Oh yeah.
probably. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just. I have no idea. But yeah, but I can't wait to see you there.
Yeah, man. I'll hit you up. We'll meet up. I'll be hanging out with the boys. So, thank you so much for your time, dude. And it was a good conversation. I think it was important. I think I think it's time for us to move on now, right? Let's not talk about it anymore.
I can. No, let's not start that again.
Yeah, let's just have a good time. Let's listen to music. And thanks again, brother. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was a very fun conversation.
All right, brother. We'll talk soon before you guys come here.
All right.
All right, man.
You have a good day.
You too.
Cheers.